Howdy, partners. Let me introduce you to my good old pal, Bubba. Now, Bubba's got a gift, a real knack for whipping up some mean meatballs. We're talking big, juicy, melt-in-your-mouth kind of meatballs. Born and raised in the heart of the South, Bubba's recipe is a taste of true Southern hospitality. These ain't no ordinary meatballs, mind you. They're packed with flavor, seasoned with a touch of Southern charm, and guaranteed to have you licking your plate clean. So grab your aprons, y'all, and let's dive into Bubba's Big Meatballs recipe. First things first, we gotta gather our fixins. This is where the magic begins, folks. Now don't be scared by the list, it's all simple stuff you can find at your local grocery store. No need for any fancy schmancy ingredients here. We're talking ground beef, the star of the show. This is the foundation of our meatballs. Bubba swears by a good 80-20 blend for that perfect balance of flavor and juiciness. Trust me, it makes all the difference. Next up, we got our breadcrumbs. These little guys are crucial. Nothing fancy here, just plain old breadcrumbs to help bind those meatballs together. They give our meatballs that perfect texture. And of course, no Southern recipe is complete without a generous helping of onions. They add a sweet and savory depth. We'll dice them up nice and fine. You want them to blend right in. Now for a little kick, we'll be using some garlic. It adds that extra zing. Freshly minced, if you please. The fresher, the better. And for a touch of Southern charm, we'll add in some herbs and spices. This is where the flavor really comes alive. Think parsley, oregano, salt, and pepper. These are the classics, but feel free to get creative. All right, y'all, time to get our hands dirty. We're about to embark on a meatball-making adventure. In a big old bowl, combine that ground beef, breadcrumbs, onions, garlic, and spices. Don't be shy with the seasoning. It's what gives our meatballs that unforgettable flavor. Now this is where Bubba's secret weapon comes in, a good glug of milk. That's right, milk. It adds a wonderful tenderness to the meatballs, making them juicy and delicious. Now, using your hands, the best tools in the kitchen, mix everything together real good. We want all those flavors to get up close and personal. Make sure every ingredient is well incorporated. Once everything's nice and combined, it's time to shape those meatballs. This is where the fun begins. Bubba likes them big, about the size of a golf ball, or maybe a tennis ball depending on his mood. The bigger, the better, right? Now heat up a skillet with a drizzle of oil over medium heat. You want it hot enough to sear the meatballs. Carefully place those big old meatballs in the skillet, making sure not to overcrowd them. Give them some space to cook evenly. Cook those babies until they're nice and browned on all sides. This should take a few minutes, so be patient and let them develop that beautiful crust. Bubba's wisdom straight from the Southern kitchen, where tradition meets flavor. Now Bubba, he's got a couple of tricks up his sleeve when it comes to these meatballs. It's all about the little details that make a big difference. First off, he says don't overmix the meat. Gentle handling is key. Too much handling will make them tough, and nobody wants tough meatballs. And secondly, make sure you cook them in batches. This ensures each meatball gets the attention it deserves. Overcrowding the skillet will steam the meatballs instead of giving them that beautiful sear. A good sear locks in the flavor. Bubba also likes to simmer his meatballs in a simple tomato sauce after they're browned. This step adds depth to the flavor. Just a can of crushed tomatoes, some Italian seasoning, and a pinch of sugar for good measure. It's all about balance. Let them simmer for about 30 minutes and those meatballs will be so tender, they'll practically melt in your mouth. It's Southern comfort at its finest. Time to feast. Enjoy Bubba's Big Meatballs. Well, there you have it, folks. Bubba's Big Meatballs. A taste of Southern comfort food at its finest. Serve them up with your favorite pasta, a side of garlic bread, and get ready for a finger-licking good time. And hey, if you happen to have any leftovers, not that there ever are, they make for a mighty fine meatball sub the next day. So go on, y'all. Give Bubba's recipe a whirl. Your taste buds will thank you.